Hey there, welcome to Rose. In this video, we'll be looking at how you could use our make connector. Let's dive right in. So for this example, what we'll be doing is using a Typeform form submission and have the response be logged on a row spreadsheet. For that, let's start by creating a new spreadsheet in rows, and let's start from blank. I'm going to rename this to make demo, for instance, and the table name as Typeform responses. Let's also make sure that we have the header on our spreadsheet setup, and the values for these are going to be the input field values that we have on our form. In this case, that's going to be the first name, last name, and email. Let's add that in. So first name, last name, and email. Great. Before we make our first form submission here, let's also go ahead and set up our scenario on Make. To do that, I'm going to go ahead and click on Create Scenario. And here, I'm going to look for Typeform. Let's select that. And in this case, we'll be looking for watch responses. I'm also going to connect my Typeform account. In this case, I'm just going to type startup Typeform connection. It'll redirect you to Typeform's authorization page. You can go ahead and click accept. And your Typeform has now been connected to Make. We'll leave the limit parameter to be default. For form ID, I'm going to go ahead and click the dropdown and choose my branded Typeform, which is perfect. And we'll only look for the completed responses. So I'm going to check that and hit save. From these options, I'm going to select all and hit save again. Before we move forward, I'm also going to just run this once to test that the connection has been set up accurately. And there we go. And it has some data here. It also has these mappable answers, which is the previous submission. And that's great. As next step, I'm going to hit the plus icon here and now search for rows. And in this case, we'll need to just add a row. So I'm going to choose that. I'm also going to connect a new connection here. Instead of my rows connection, I'm just going to enter my name. And this is where we'd need an API key from rows. For that, I'm going to go back to the rows workspace here, go back. You can click on the workspace avatar here and go to settings, go to rows API, and let's just create a new API key here. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and copy this API key, go back to make, and just paste that in here and hit save. Next, I'm going to go ahead and select the spreadsheet where we want the data to land. In this case, that will be make demo. And then for the table, it'll be the Typeform response. Since we added the table headers, I'm going to choose yes. And this is where we can start mapping the values. So for the first name, I'm going to just click that there. And for the last name, there we go. And finally, for the email, that's the option. And then hit save. Let's retest this scenario to see it's working. So I'm going to hit run once again. And these green check marks show that the scenario ran successfully. If I go back to our rows spreadsheet, we should see the value show up here. I'm going to make this scenario live by selecting every 15 minutes here and changing this to 1. Save. And the scenario is now active. Let's retest our form submission here to make sure everything's working. For that, I'm going to go with another name, Jack Smith, jack@example.com, hit submit. Give it a couple of seconds, and if you go back to the rows workspace, you should have the form submission show up like so. This is just a simple example of what you can do with our Make connector. I hope this video is helpful, and thanks for watching.